how many job offers did you get while we were working together?
I think 4?
It
4
was
job
4 job
offers?
offers and 1 more you pulled out of, so it was 4 pending 5. So
Oh.
tell everybody, what are you doing in your career right now?
I am a special education and 504 compliance coordinator.
So
It's a bit
what
of a
does that
mouthful.
mean? So what does that mean? And where are you where are you working? Because 'Cause you're not in a classroom, so what does that mean?
No, so I am with a charter network now. And so my job is basically I oversee a special education team and make sure from the secondary level, I make sure that they are in compliance with their paperwork. I am a source of guidance if they have questions about how to handle a situation. I schedule the IEP meetings and run them for them, and I also am basically the direct contact for helping the high school scholars figure out their next steps going into college.
Oh, wow, that's really awesome too. You're making such an impact, right?
Yes, and it's so thrilling, and it was exactly I feel like my calling, and I'm so thrilled. I absolutely love doing it. Huge jump in salary that I
It
received
was.
that will allow us to be able to save how we want to and be able to move. So that's I'm so thrilled for that in a salary now that I never would have been able to have as a teacher. And
How
so even a
amazing is
tenured
that?
teacher, it's
How
so great.
fantastic. Teachers don't realize how much more money they can earn outside of teaching. It is really, really remarkable. Most of my clients, just like you, earn more money in their next job than they did as a teacher. Isn't this a job that you told me that you had wanted to achieve for like 2 years?
Yes, I mean, in the back of my mind too, growing up and in college, I knew I wanted to. I've always had a love for special education, but I definitely always wanted to get to a part where I was mentoring other teachers and helping them in any way that I can because I'm passionate about helping adults as well. So I knew about this role from some friends within the charter system, and they said, we think you'd be fabulous at it. And it just happened and the stars aligned and it was a great time for it.
That is amazing. And how is life better when you're in this role?
It's so different being out of the classroom. It was it's night and day. It really I've loved teaching. I love being with the students. But it was draining me in such a way that was taking me away from my family. I didn't have the mental capacity that I had before for them or the energy. Whereas now, I create my own schedule. I have the flexibility in the day and I have time to spend with my family.
Which is amazing. Such a common, right? Such a common concern that we hear, right? And one of the biggest complaints with teachers, right, is having nothing
Absolutely.
left for your own family, being totally
Yeah.
drained.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
what was the process like to go out and get out of where you were before and to get where you are now?
Yes, it was so heartbreaking, honestly. It started because I worked in a fabulous school district with the best teachers. I loved what I was doing, and I was so excited for my girls to start their educational career in it. The big downside was it was a long commute. I live out in the country, and so we were doing an hour and a half commute every day. And my daughters were in the pre-K program and they were miserable. They, every morning we're waking up at 5 in the morning. I'm getting them ready. They're throwing a fit. They don't want to go. And it was just, we were spending so much time out of the home. I wasn't getting a chance to take care of my house or, really spend time with them. By the time we get home, I was so drained and they weren't happy was the big thing is seeing how unhappy they were in a great place. It just it made, I had to sit down with my husband and say, something has to change. We have to figure out our next steps. And I said, if they're not in this school with me, I don't want to be teaching either. Like it just doesn't make sense. And I want something that allows me the flexibility to be home and be with them as well, especially because they're not in kindergarten yet, and so I wanted to have the option to spend time with them at home. Um, so yeah, so it was very much a matter of, okay, I think we need a career pivot. I need to figure out what's something outside of the classroom, and I was like, I have no idea. I need a
You made
career
some
coach.
great points and here we are. No, but you made some great points, right? The fact that you were in a great school district, you loved your school, you love what you did, but it still wasn't working for you and your family. And that's important for other people to hear that you can love what you're doing, but it can still not be right.
Right. Yes. And it wasn't a matter of feeling like I'm a burnt out educator. It just wasn't fitting for my family anymore. And in the time of life that they're in, it just wasn't making sense. But it was also of like, can I even do this? I don't know if I can do this. I don't have this is all I've known.
Well, clearly you can, because not only can we just share right now, how many job offers did you get while we were working together?
I think four,
It
four
was
job
4 job
offers.
offers and 1 more you pulled out of in the end because 'cause
Yes.
you'd already accepted, so it was 4 pending 5. So clearly
Yes.
you can do this.
And they were all from a different range of places, which and professions, which was what was so amazing about it.
Correct. You wanna so what were the different professions that they were?
Um, okay, so one was within education, another one was with, a sales role,
Yep,
one was in instructional design.
yep.
I'm blanking. Oh, and then the one that I chose. Yes,
Okay.
the was the
Yep, yep, yep. Awesome.
yes.
So what was the journey? Finding a career coach, working together,
Yes.
us working together, what did this look like?
So I knew I needed a career coach. That was the first step. And so I started off interviewing different career coaches, and you stuck out big time because a lot of in my mind I thought, okay, I need someone who has been in education and is now out of education and can guide me through that, you know. And so um I had interviewed several people that had been in education that are career coaches now, but the big driving factor that led me to you was they wanted to focus more on getting into ed tech sales. And while I love educational technology, I loved that you were willing to wanting to do a everything. You know, I feel like I fit in so many different areas, you know, it's very much, "What do I wanna be when I grow up?" And
Exactly.
you very much were willing to just see so many different avenues and different talents, and it just right away, it just made sense. You know, something so funny was from one of our first conversations that we had, you were talking to me about my LinkedIn profile picture, and, what's so funny is, you know, I took your advice. I took some professional, you know, headshots and changed my LinkedIn profile picture.
100,000
But
times better,
since
I love it.
so much better. But what's so funny is since then, I've needed those professional headshots for my position. They needed it for a newsletter. I've needed it for a badge. It was so funny that I was like, okay, this was a great step that I needed to do because I needed these professional headshots anyways for other things. So it was just funny just having that realization. So
It's
yeah,
just so how
so
important these
you
little
stuck
things
out.
are that they matter. Yeah, and look at how you were interviewing and getting offers in all these different areas, and it's
Oh
so
my
important
goodness.
for teachers to realize when they're exiting education and leaving the classroom that there's not just one, there are a lot of things that you can do.
Yes, your sessions that you gave for me to work on really helped me realize too about what are my hard skills and soft skills, what am I good at, and it really helped me narrow down the avenues that I could pursue. And I realized, wow, I have this love for instructional design and adult learning. And so, you know, we created the portfolio, and I think it's so funny that we worked on one instructional design resume and I applied to one instructional design job, and And they immediately called me, and I loved them. They were so great, but at the time I knew that this coordinator role was gonna be the best fit for me. So it was a bummer turning them down, but at the same time, it's a door that is open for the future that if it's something I do
Absolutely,
wanna look
and a
into,
huge
I know it's
confidence
there.
boost.
Yes,
Huge
yes.
confidence boost, a door for the future, the knowledge you can do that anytime in the future, and you know what? You may be able to possibly incorporate some instructional design in the work that you do and up level the trainings that you are giving to the teachers.
Absolutely. You definitely taught me about how I can take what I'm currently doing and upskill myself and put that on my resume and just so many different facets of what I was doing in education that I didn't realize translated into corporate world and just even okay, I'm not going to cry, but Cindy, there were moments that I just, that I was so down on myself. It was such a hard decision leaving, such a hard decision. And you gave me that confidence that I needed and held my hand and said, it's going to be okay. You're going to find something. It's going to be okay. And I needed that. But also there were just moments that when we would be working on a resume or you would be talking to me trying to help me relive some of the things that I did in the past, you would take a moment and you would say, Carissa, who else do you know as an educator that has done these things? Like, and you're taking a moment to give me this praise that I never received or had before, that I just was like, wow, she's right. Like I have a lot to be proud about. And it really I just thank you, Cindy. Thank you for that. It meant so much to realize that I did have so much under my belt and so much to offer for other professions.
Well, thank you so much. You every word of it was true. Look at how many companies wanted you. You were going to excel here and in everything in your future. I am completely confident about that. Do
Thank
you have
you.
any
It was so
final
hard
words?
saying I was gonna say it was so hard turning down the fully remote sales job, but knowing, like, there's something else better out there, because you were like, "It's not always about the remote life," and now I have a life where I'm hybrid. I'm either downtown at the central office, or I'm on a campus helping teachers, or I'm at home just doing paperwork, and I love that. I love that I have the flexibility in my schedule to do what I need to do and be where I need to be, but still get up in the morning and have a cup of coffee, walk my dog, brush my daughter's hair and not, be rushing and, get them ready for their morning and have a cuddle. It's just so great being able to be on this other side of it, knowing that everything worked out and everything's okay. And I had you guiding me through all of that. I will never have enough thank yous.
Oh, well, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure working with you. Do you have any advice for anybody who is looking to transition out of education or make any kind of a career pivot?
Give yourself some grace and definitely know that it's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's definitely a work in progress, and really digging deep about the things that you are good at and enjoy. Utilizing a career coach, I think, is definitely a huge factor. I definitely, I don't think, would have gotten to where I am without you. And also just knowing that sometimes it is about timing. There were moments when it was like nothing was happening, and then bam, 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 like everything seemed to happen all at one time. So just give yourself some grace and just buckle up, because it's a full-time job. Finding a full-time job, it really
Yes, it is. But
is.
I believe you got all those offers within the 12 weeks of us working together.
Oh, yeah, before even the 12 weeks ended,
Okay?
that towards the end, we were working on, making sure I was being professional, managing my schedule, and first
Getting you
day
set up for the job.
impressions, all
Yep,
that.
yep, absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Well, I wish you so much continued success, and you don't even need my wishes. You're gonna be awesome.
Thank you. And I'm so grateful that you have set me up for even the future, and even I have no interest in leaving this role. I'm so happy where I am, but if I do get the itch, I feel set up to be able to be successful in whatever avenue I choose next. So thank you so much, Cindy.
You are so very welcome. Thank you.